they're also saying, hey, you shouldn't say, do,
That's
or
the
think
problem. It's
this.
like it's the idea that the existence of one threatens the existence of the other.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you think about like taking an extreme, if I think I should have my right to be a white supremacist, like white
No,
power, white this, that is oppressing on
but
something
that's a
else.
menace to people's lives.
Right, exactly. So should that idea fly? Should that idea be allowed? Should that idea be
Those
able to
ideas. That's
throw?
that's what I'm. The way the way I see it, those ideas will be rejected naturally.
Will they though? But for
Yeah,
for a while,
you don't see any new, like you don't see any
n-
Nazi movement gaining power, gaining force,
maybe not in the
having
United
a
States, but right now, like there was like
or
a
having a
super
representative like in the like there's no Nazi politicians
in the United States,
like parties or Nazi parties.
but there are
Where?
Portugal and France. Like you have like these very right winged, very nationalistic.
But
Uh,
being nationalist doesn't mean being a Nazi.
well,
They're not advocating
Nazi
for the
as a party,
They're not advocating for the
extermination
extermination of a certain group of people.
yet.
Ugh. Well, but you can. What do you mean yet? You can use that argument to anybody. Like, oh, he's advocating for oh, that politician is he's advocating for equality and diversity. But what he really means is
Is the opposite of that.
exactly
But like,
like
how do you define the line? So let's say, like, you vilify a group of people, and you say that they took their jobs, and they're the reason why your
they took
life,
their
they're
jobs.
the reason that your life is the way it is, however it is. Like, let's say, like, you live in Detroit and used to be like this huge industrial city, right? And now the car industry is not there anymore, and it's just poverty and violence and this and that and the other. And then you go on TV, like the reason why your life is miserable is because these other guys are jumping the border from the south. You know, you should hate these guys. You should hate these people, or you should
Yeah,
like
so
be against that.
see
That's the kind of demagoguery that free flow of information will allow. Is that a good situation? It's really easy. It's just happened. How how is that not a form of,
hate
a
speech.
tactic used by fascists in the past, for example?
I think it's more of a interpretation problem than a problem with the actual speech.
What do you mean interpretation?
It's the way people are interpreting
So if
what these politicians are saying.
how can you interpret what I just said in different
Well,
ways?
I mean, the way you said it, um, the way you said it,
Was it a misrepresentation of what people actually said?
I don't know. How did you say it again?
I said like
So the reason why,
why
so
the
it could
economy
be
is
one of the,
bad for
it
you is
could,
because of
well,
all this illegal immigration.
I mean,
You
well,
lost your coal job. You lost your factory job because of the immigrants.
see, now you can have good sense and say, okay, there an immigration. I mean, we're both immigrants here, so
Clearly, there's an
is
immigration
there a
problem.
problem with illegal immigration? Is that what they're talking? What exactly are they talking about? Are they talking
Mhm.
about illegal immigrants? Are they talking about um what exactly are they talking about? People jumping
Doesn't matter because people like,
the
yeah,
fence,
my
or
life is not going great.
is that
Yeah,
happening though? Are people thinking that? Is that a reality?
I thought it was a campaign slogan for the old administration here in the United States.
For Trump?
You know,
Well,
builds the
he was
wall. Do you remember this thing
it's
called
see
build
it's
the wall?
build a wall. Yeah, I mean,
Why would they build a wall?
to protect the country's sovereignty.
How is the sovereignty being threatened without the wall?
Excessive illegal immigration.
What is
Uh, uh,
excessive illegal
I don't know,
immigration?
man. We have to see the numbers. Is
Exactly.
it actually affecting certain locations, certain certain areas of the United States? Is illegal immigration a problem? What are the elements that we should be looking at?
Right.
What are the problems that illegal immigration are allegedly causing, supposedly causing.
Not supposedly, actually. I care more about the actuals than the supposeds.
What
Like,
is it a what's the level of adaptation that immigrants need to go through in order to live under the same social contract? How many illegal immigrants are coming here and not being able to adapt, and uh, just becoming this problem? I don't know. It's like I said, it's very complex.
very. In fact, even the concept of an immigrant
So it's
in this
that's why I
land.
say it's a matter of interpretation, because
No,
some people will say, "Oh, that's hate speech," and other people will say, "Well, he's got a point there.
well, if it's
Maybe we should look at it."
for the sake of argument, let's say that that is demagoguery and that is actually not a real problem because more than 50% of illegal immigration is people who overstay their visas in the United States. Let's say that the people who are coming from the South, they're not competing for high paying jobs. They're competing from the jobs that nobody wants to
Sub
do because
jobs, yeah,
they're the bottom of the pyramid of
yeah.
jobs. Plus, they're being exploited by the capitalist person who owns the job because they're making less than minimum wage and because they have very little to no rights, even as an undocumented immigrant, they're not causing any problems with the economy. In fact, they're keeping your avocado
I'm
prices
not
low.
saying
So
just the
let's just say,
economy.
for
It
the
could
sake of argument, that that was actually the factual truth. What can happen so that people are aware of that reality and not fall in prey to like this populism that seems to fit a certain population because of whatever emotional exploitation they're being subjected